The Galactic Federation of Worlds is a large federation of civilizations from many different planets, galaxies and universes working together for the harmonious existence of all life. There is a galactic federation in each of the inhabited galaxies of our universe. These federations are part of the universal management structure, much like field offices are part of the management structure for a large corporation. The Galactic Federation for the Milky Way galaxy is called the Galactic Federation of Worlds, but some of the races represented in our GF may call it by other names, hence the difference in the names given by the Zetas, Andromedans, etc. Each race, civilization, and planet has a council within the GF to represent them. These councils vary in size depending on population as well as the amount of responsibilities they carry within the management structure of the GF. There are literally thousands of these councils since there are that many races represented. The felines are one of the two primary races in our universe. They arrived here by invitation of the founders. Having successfully completed their universal game and completing their universe, a group of 45 felines volunteered to come to this universe to help set up and oversee the same game here. The felines are a bipedal race that stand 12 to 16 feet tall. Their skin is covered by a sort of soft fuzz, and though they don't have fur, they do have manes, and both the males and females have long hair. Their eye color ranges from blue to gold and can change from blue to gold as they mature. They also turn from a golden brown color to white. The overall feline temperament is warm, sanguine and intellectual. As they mature they take on more of a somber, introspective and gentle nature. The elders are revered for the wisdom, compassion and insight. As a race they are extremely close and have a great sense of fair play. The females are revered and honored in equal status with the males. And true to the feline way, they are all very curious and inquisitive. As part of the universal game, the founders gave the felines a new planet in the Lyre constellation for their home. The felines named it Avian. Now this is not the exact pronunciation, nor spelling, but it is close enough. The real name cannot be translated into English. Avian was a paradise planet with mountains, lakes, streams and oceans. This blue planet was very much like our present Earth in form and variety of vegetation and life forms. When the felines arrived, they were in etheric form, and therefore, went through the stage of evolving a physical body in which to reside on the planet. After many millions of years they evolved the lion and other felines and began incarnating into those forms. As part of the plan, a portion of the original felines stayed in etheric form to provide guidance to those incarnating. They would be the equivalent of your modern-day Christos beings. Remember, this was a 3D planet, and once the etheric felines incarnated they would fall under the veil of amnesia that is part of the workings of a 3D planet of free will. As time passed, and through countless incarnation cycles, the felines evolved a line of felines that walked upright and retained the consciousness of their etheric counterparts thanks to the periodic incarnations of some of the etheric felines, and DNA from a bipedal mammal similar to the ape, that was evolving on the planet as well. With the DNA from the ape-like mammal, the felines were able to take on a more human-like body while retaining most of the facial features and other characteristics of the feline. It was from this crossing, when it reached a certain stage, that the genetic line known as the Royal Line of Avian, or House of Avian, came into being. The etheric felines would continue to take turns incarnating to provide not only DNA upgrading, but teaching and training in higher dimensional principles. lest their planet-bound brothers and sisters get stuck in the non-sentient animal incarnation cycle. As you can see, the felines evolved on Avian in much the same manner as humans evolved here on Earth. The only difference is that the humans did get stuck in the animal cycle. In time, the conscious felines grew large enough in number to take on the responsibilities of planetary guardians of their home world. They continued to evolve and eventually developed the technology for space travel and then warp technology. Their etheric brothers and sisters continued to act as their guides. Many among them became geneticists of feline specialty and began helping to develop life forms of various kinds for planets and stars in the universe. Some among them became great space explorers and scientists of various kinds. It was during this stage in their development that the felines would turn their attention to that bipedal mammal they owed so much to, and begin the program of genetic crossing and use. It was during this stage in their development that the felines would turn their attention to that bipedal mammal they owed so much to, and begin the program of genetic crossing and upgrading that would give them a soul and, in the process, create a new species that would become known as the humans. After numerous crossings and genetic upgrades, the Adamic human was made. There were two strains, the red-headed strain being the more outgoing and energetic, and the platinum blonde strain being the more gentle-natured and introspective. After many thousands of years of continued careful crossing breeding, the feline/human hybrids began to be more common in the royal line of the felines, the House of Avian, than the purebred felines were. Yet, this was the plan. In time, the purebred felines would become the ancient ancestors of the humans with only their genetic traits as a reminder of the connection between them. And though the genetic relationship between the felines and humans has been forgotten by modern man, the felines remain in our consciousness as a regal creature, worthy of our respect and love. The felines remain the loving and supportive guardians of their genetic offspring, the humans. They have continued in this role through time and all dimensions of the universal game. The humans are the youngest of the four primary races in our universe. They were first created by the felines on a planet in the Vega star system of the Lyra constellation. The humans are unique among the races due to their DNA coding. The humans were given the gene of compassion as their inheritance from the felines. They are heirs to the great work which is showing all other races how to achieve compassion through the opening of the heart and the high heart chakra. The humans were given a different creation myth than the one given to their counterparts, the reptilians. The humans' creation myth states that they will strive to live in harmony with any and all races occupying a planet that they wish to colonize. It also states that they, through their living example, will show their fellow races the way to achieve compassion of the heart instead of compassion of the head, mental's compassion. Therefore you will find that felines and humans who have open hearts will be assertive, tr. Therefore you will find that felines and humans who have open hearts will be assertive, truthful and confrontational in their communications and dealings with others. The humans became more predominant in the royal line of Avian by the time they reached the Pleiadian star system. The Carians are a race of bird-like beings. At their most evolved state, The ruling class of the Carians resemble humans with eagle-like features and coloring. Like the original felines, the Carians first arrived in this universe when it was being created. A group of 45 came at the request of the founders of this universe to help assist and oversee the universal game. The founders gave the Carians a new planet in the Orion constellation for their home. It was more tropical in design and featured an abundance of humid swamps and jungles. It also had more islands than large land masses. Like the felines, they were etheric and, therefore, had to develop physical bodies from the life forms evolving on the planet's surface. Of course, they chose the life form that would become the bird, and over a period of hundreds of thousands of years, they developed bodies of varying colors and sizes. The Carians were known for their unique affinity towards colored plumage and so created physical bodies that reflected their creative talent in this area. That is why the Carians have much more variety of size, shape and color in their race than do the felines. They can be 12 feet tall or only a few inches in height. Also, like the felines, a group of the original 45 Carians remained etheric and became a council that oversaw and managed the development of their brothers and sisters who chose to incarnate on the planet as part of the upgrading of their physical forms. When their physical vehicles had reached a certain level of development, they began genetic crossing, something they had learned from the felines, with certain reptiles that had evolved in the swamps and warmer regions of the planet. The result of this genetic program was the creation of a new hybrid race known to us as the Draconians. They were part Carian and part reptile. In time, the Draconians became more abundant in the royal line of Aln than the purebred Carians. And like the felines, eventually the House of Aln would be peopled more by Draconians, and their first derivative, the flying serpent snakes, than Carians. By the time of the first Earth Grand Experiment, the House of Aln was headed by a winged serpent known as Quabazar. Quabazar is the father of Jahawa. The Carians are known for their sharp analytical abilities and organizational skills. A predominant character trait of the Carians is their need to maintain a good appearance and image at all times. They are good team players as long as the team's structure involves discipline and strictly adhered to codes of conduct. You will find a preponderance of Carians involved in the creation and maintenance of stargates, dimensional grids and magnetic fields throughout our galaxy and universe. Their inherent analytical abilities make them well suited for this kind of work. They are also known for their militaristic capabilities, and their starships are more advanced than any in the universe. They held the majority of the military posts during the first Earth Grand Experiment. It was a Carian commander that ruled over the vast fleet of starships and cruisers for the Larn Galactic Federation, and the royal houses of Avian and Aln. The Reptilians are the creation of the Carians, their parent race. They evolved on a planet in the Alpha Draconis star system of the Orion constellation. The royal line of Reptilians are the Draconians, the winged dragons. The name of their royal line is the House of Aln. This is not the exact spelling, but it is close. It is more like Oln or Ahln. Still, keeping this in mind, the council requested I spell it Aln. The reptiles have two other major sub-races. They are known as the winged serpent snakes and the lizards, called by some, the lizzies. The reptilians are less emotional than their human counterparts. Yet they have a highly refined knowledge of universal physics and laws. The Reptilians are responsible for the mystery schools on Earth, and their teachings are from the ancient knowledge held by their parent race, the Carians. The Reptilians were given a creation myth by their parent race, the Carians, that clashed with the creation myth of the humans. The reptilians were told that they had the right to colonize all planets and star systems in the universe, and when they did, they also had the right to conquer or destroy any civilization they found there. This creation myth has been the source of the many conflicts between the reptiles and the humans throughout the dimensions. Yet, it was given as part of the universal game polarity integration. Without it, everyone would have lived in peace and there would be no conflict. If this were the case, soul evolution would cease and the universe would become stagnant. The reptilians represent the dark in the polarity integration game, while the humans represent the light. Through this game, of the highest order, all souls in this universe have the opportunity to spiritually evolve and rejoin the creative God source. The Namos are a race of beings that takes the physical forms of dolphins, whales, mermaids/mermen. Their homeworld is a planet in the Sirius star system that is mostly warm aqua blue water. Many of the Namos walk upright. They are known for their highly advanced use of sound. I have had a personal experience with these beings when they took me to their planet during the dream state. I remember the feel of the warm aqua blue water and how I marveled over the fact that I could breathe in it. Then I remember being placed on a table and feeling the sensations as they sang something into my blood. Then they sang me home and back into my body. I woke up with the most peaceful and euphoric feeling. The Namos play an important role in Earth's evolution. Right now they are the guardians and guides of the portion of etheric Sirians who are in dolphin, whale, and mermaid/merman bodies in order to maintain the biosphere of Earth. The etheric Sirians are the soul group that were given Earth as their new home when their former home, Sirius B, imploded. When Earth ascends, the etheric Sirians will make over as guardians of their planet. Those in aquatic form will have the choice to change form and take on a human body, walking the Earth as a land guardian. Many of the etheric Sirians in aquatic forms are making this choice now and, therefore, are beaching themselves. They are returning to the Namos homeworld for training on being in a human body so that they can return to Earth as land guardians. Those who are of the etheric Sirian soul group are usually very drawn to the whales and dolphins. They also can be found in organizations and groups whose focus is healing the Earth and conserving her resources. The majority of etheric Sirians are found among the black, red and brown races of Earth. In addition to glowing balls, orbs can appear in a rainbow of colors. Barely physical, their bodies can be described as bubbles of energy. Scientists, who have researched orbs, believe their body is made of dense groupings of charged particles called plasma. This could mean that orbs are the simplest sentient beings in the universe. In regards to polarity, light/dark, they appear to be polarized to the light. Orbs feel and express light feelings of love, happiness, bliss, and joy, etc. Their bodies are so fragile and sensitive that they are incapable of processing dark feelings of pain and anger. Just witnessing a conflict can hurt them. Not being able to fully experience dark feelings, they are quite innocent in nature. Orbs are like children who never grow up. This, of course, is evident in their bubbly outgoing demeanor and childlike naivete. They are very playful, inquisitive, and love to explore. Through a form of research that I call timeline work, in which I use my psychic abilities to tap into alternate timelines, I discovered that, like other societies that have polarized to the light, orbs live in collectives. A collective society functions as a unified consciousness. The minds and emotions of each member are linked so that everyone can experience what the others are thinking and feeling. This connection creates a peaceful and harmonious society, but at the expense of free will and individuality. The orb belief system states each member of the collective exists to serve others not only in their own species but in the galactic community at large. Serving others is an important form of soul growth. One of the ways that orbs serve their galactic neighbors is by using their capability for interdimensional travel to act as windows into other dimensions. In essence, they provide a telescopic view into another world. For example, when we see orbs in photographs, many times they are there acting as a window for someone in another dimension. In this capacity, orbs are like historians, recording events as they play out. Due to their preference for living in groups, when serving within civilian populations, orbs adapt well to family life. They can be employed as companions to single or aging people, or playmates to small children. In some cases, they are the childcare provider, giving the parents remote visual access to their child via their ability to be in two places at once. Imagine yourself as parent, and on your desk at work sits an orb. When you look at it, much like peering into a crystal ball or TV, you can see a real-time picture of your child at play. Orbs' abilities are also used within religious or spiritual groups, wherein they act similar to crystal balls, allowing individuals to see past or future timelines. There are societies in existence that worship orbs as gods because of the vast amounts of wisdom they possess from their service within many different cultures on many different worlds. Like many other galactic races, orbs have sent members of their society to represent them as starseeds on Earth. These souls have agreed to incarnate as humans on Earth to aid this planet and themselves. Below are the characteristics that I've found to indicate an orb's starseed. Highly sensitive and psychic. A common health issue is severe allergies. Described as sweet, cute, naive, and or childlike. Tend to be very well-mannered and obedient. Tend to be very private, quiet, shy and introverted. Are great observers and are very creative individuals. Are passionate about learning. Learn by observing others and repeating what they are trying to learn. Strive for perfection. Tend to be followers rather than leaders. Can seem ungrounded or detached. Find social situations hard. Being very playful and inquisitive individuals, orbs starseeds are here to show others how to remain open to the magic of life, which keeps our creative juices alive. They teach us to observe life, as a child does, examining and playing with everything possible, remaining open to the miracles of life. Additionally, orbs starseeds are here to help us understand the universe in a new way. They are here to teach us about the oneness of life. Although individual aspects of life appear separate from each other, orbs starseeds see all life existing as a unified whole. They live each day in respect and with empathy for all living things, as one's actions can influence the life of another in unknowable ways. The orb starseed's goal is to learn to embrace individuality and the full range of dark feelings that come with it, a trait they have not yet developed. This means that they need to learn how to make their own choices rather than follow the pack. To do so, they must embrace the idea that having thoughts, beliefs, and desires that are outside of the norm or status quo are okay. Further, they must learn to establish healthy boundaries or limits on how much they give and serve others. In other words, they must become healthily selfish. Coming from a belief that states that their worth depends on how and to what extent they serve others. This is not an easy change to make. Additionally, understanding the value in pain is particularly difficult for them. The orb body is nowhere near capable of withstanding the amount of pain that a human body can. Without boundaries, one does not feel safe. Instead of setting the boundaries to make it safe to feel and express emotions, these individuals may find any number of ways to ignore them and escape pain. Their daily activities, such as studying, playing music and even eating, become modes of escape rather than the source of enjoyment. Living in such a way can leave one feeling very depleted and unhappy with their life. They may manifest any number of emotional or physical challenges that aid them in learning to set boundaries. The most common emotional issues for orb starseeds are in the social realm. In facing fears and the possibility of pain, they distance themselves from others and become reclusive rather than playful individuals. Without boundaries, they can end up in codependent relationships in which actions are taken to please others rather than oneself. In such relationships, they try to rescue others from their pain or let others take advantage of them. While taking care of others, as orbs are programmed to do, they deny their own needs. When their fear of feeling pain and dark feelings becomes the predominant focus in their lives, they will manifest this need through developing severe allergic reactions to others and to their environment in general. Many orbs experience multiple allergies to foods, chemicals, dust, and even people. Allergies are the subconscious's way of saying that it feels unsafe with its life choices. By setting personal boundaries, an orb starseed can learn to have self-love, joy, and compassion in ways they never had before.